So good afternoon. I'm gonna keep you awake by talking about pair programming, I hope. So who has done pair programming before? Nice, some of you, cool. So I've done it quite a lot over the last years with a lot of different teams and companies. And I found it a super useful tool, both for knowledge sharing, mentoring, for getting a higher quality, get less bugs in your codes. But I also noticed that it can be very tiring. So after a day of pair programming, you're constantly talking to each other, you're constantly communicating, and sometimes you just come home with a headache and you want to get to sleep instead. So that's why I collected some quick tips, some techniques to make it a bit easier. So one of the most important things is that you have to switch often. When you're pair programming, there's a driver who is coding and a navigator who is following along, but you're using your brain completely differently. The one is thinking about why something happens, the other person is more thinking about what and how. And by switching those roles often, like maybe every half hour or even faster, it gives you some headspace to think in a different way again. It's also important to switch pairing partners. I've seen some companies where there were like pairing buddies and always the same people pairing up. And a big advantage of pair programming is getting rid of knowledge silos in your team, and you kind of don't have this advantage anymore. And also you can learn something from everybody, even from the most junior person in your team. You will learn a cool trick in your terminal or something you completely didn't expect. And a last thing that you can switch often is between taking breaks and working. It's so intense to pair program that after a while you just need those breaks. It's better to plan them in from the beginning and to have like some structure in it. Like some people use the Pomodoro technique where you have breaks every 25 minutes, and that works really well. Another thing that's very important is being respectful. Who hates it if somebody touches their screen? Okay, I guess some people already fall asleep because everybody hates it, I think. So just respect each other's personal space. Don't go sit in each other's lap. Don't steal keyboards and mice. It's annoying. Nobody likes it. Also, the communication should be in a constructive way. You give feedback constantly. If you're just saying that somebody's code is shit, nobody likes it. Just at least give arguments for it, and even better, ask some questions so you can propose another solution or ask why somebody is doing it in a certain way, and that will make a huge difference. And something that I personally find very disrespecting while pair programming is multitasking. Just bring one computer, no cell phones, turn off notifications, and you'll get way better focus, you'll get super good productive results out of it. And the last thing that a lot of people get wrong is that you should not apply it for every single task. I've talked to a person who was working at a big English communication company, and they didn't have their own laptops. They only had pairing desks, which was a desk with 2 chairs and a computer, which they had to share for every single task. But sometimes it just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't add value. If you're working on a stupid data migration or doing something that's been done 20 times before, just don't do it. And a way I tackle that in teams is like if there's a stand-up, if you're doing a stand-up or something like that, there's some way you give tasks to people, that's a good moment to discuss if it's worth it to pair up or not, and if it's a good task for it. And the most important thing of all, try to have fun. It's a cool experience, you have a lot of communication, it's fun, so try to enjoy it. That's it. Thank you.